do have a lot of training and for the parents. My tours last an hour and a half when I tour them through the school. I took over 300 families into the school this year, and I think having a parent meeting before school starts, really talking to them about what they're going to experience. We also have a language specialist, Dr. Simona Montanari. She's a parent in one of our programs, and she comes and gives a talk to the parents about language acquisition and the silent period that the child is not going to produce, and how long it takes for children to acquire a language, and that's perfectly fine. And the second year panic, the second grade panic, where parents want that CST score to be up there, and in some cases it is, and in some cases it's not. And so having Dr. Montanari come in really helps as well. So as many parent ed things that you can do to kind of educate the parents, and if you read the article in the LA Times, there are a lot of people that really don't understand the program. They think this is, there were a lot of responses that were like, well, you're in the United States, speak English, kind of, and they really don't understand what the program is about. So it's just a matter of educating as best you can people that don't understand, so that they can make good choices.
One question. Are there many successful secondary programs in California, or more specifically, I guess, in this area that are known throughout? Just out of curiosity.
There has been an effort on secondary programs, and I'm wondering if in any of your research, maybe through Olga or Mina, if you've been able to locate any of those successful programs.
When you say secondary, do you mean high school or middle school?
Yeah,
high school?
I know. I guess there are some middle school programs, but I guess through 12,
at the high school level, there are so few, if any. And I'm not quite sure why there's this, it kind of gets to 8th grade and that much. Because I even think middle school programs are not, there are a lot more elementary programs than there are even middle school programs. I can speak to my experience in Long Beach Unified, where the middle school program has been there. Well, James has been teaching for 15 years, so it's been there for 15 years. And when I was coordinator of the elementary school, and he was at the middle school site at the time, we made great efforts to try to move the program into one of our high schools in Long Beach with no success to date.
Was it just pushback from the administration?
Yeah, Long Beach Unified is not a terribly bilingual friendly district. They kind of let us exist. There are four elementary sites that have two-way programs, and then the middle school site that now became the K-8 at Patrick Henry. So it's been a challenge. It's been a challenge to have a program established at the high school level, and then it's also been a challenge of what to do with our 8th graders when they do go to the high schools, because they'll go to several different high schools in Long Beach, and then they get there and they want to be placed in low-level Spanish classes that they don't belong in, but then they're put in the Spanish for Spanish speakers class that they don't really belong in either, because the Spanish for Spanish speakers class is designed for Spanish speakers who've never been instructed in Spanish, so there isn't a fit. So then we try to push them into the AP classes as freshmen, and there's a lot of pushback from principals at those high schools because they don't understand the program, and they don't believe that these 8th graders could be coming in ready to take an AP class as freshmen. So it's been a huge challenge in that district, and I'm trying to think of who has a high school program.
There's Saddleback Unified, and it's Laguna.
Oh, that's right, yes.
Santa Monica also has a dual language program that goes up to high school. I believe they have two subject courses at the high school. What you run into is how do you make it fit into the master schedule without impacting the greater population. As James had mentioned, the staffing also becomes difficult at the high school level. What I know from Santa Monica, what they've told me is if the student wants to take the AP course at the high school, then they have to exit out of the dual language program. One of the issues when you get to the high school level is students want the AP credit. And so they want to take the AP Spanish or Japanese class, but in their case, they have to choose either or. some issues that that are very particular to the secondary level that I've seen.
They have so many electives that it's hard because, you know, even for us, we were starting a middle school program, and it was hard to determine, well, we did a Spanish literature, but then the other one, what do we do? And we ended up going with the math one, but then some kids wanted algebra, and some, you know, so when you go into electives, and then when you're looking at the teaching staff as well, and even the different languages, how are you going to get somebody that maybe will be teaching biology but can also teach Italian? Or so we have told just for the future for the high school and junior high to be aware and look at people that are incoming with multiple languages, and if they have the same criteria, to please look at that carefully when it comes to hiring. But it does become a problem because of the staffing, and they have to be highly qualified teachers too. So
if you know of anyone.
Yeah, tell them to apply.
It is definitely one of those challenges that we've encountered here in Culver City. And I'm wondering, it is right at about 4 o'clock right now, Michelle. I think you would like us to stop at this time. But I do want to thank you for attending our panel, and we'll be around later on too if you have any additional questions. So thank you very much.